Episode 7 of Monarch Legacy of Monsters is finally here, available on Apple TV. However, out of all of them, this was the slowest, almost bordering on the most boring so far, but there were some cool bits, like new revelations about characters' pasts, and we're gearing up for a big event in the upcoming episodes. Let's go! Welcome back to Nerds Insights, your daily nerd news channel. Monarch Legacy of Monsters keeps surprising us, but not always in a good way. Sometimes it's great, other times it's slow. One episode is super intense, and the next has barely any action, so you can't predict what the next episode will bring. One thing I do hope for, those you like, because it really helps the channel. Please hit the like button now and subscribe to the channel. When you're subscribed with the bell on, you make sure the news reaches you, and then you can decide whether to watch or not, but you've got to be subscribed with that bell on. Continuing what I was saying about the episodes being so unpredictable, in this very episode, we had zero flashbacks, images, scenes, mentions, or anything from another time, yet in episode 6 we were jumping back and forth a lot between 1955 and 2015, so you can't tell what will or won't be shown. Episode 7 picks up where episode 6 left off, with Tim pulling his face out of the ground, mouth full of sand, heading to the airport. When he gets there, he meets Kate and Kentaro Randa. Unfortunately, guys, I know I mentioned this in my last episode analysis, but I gotta say it again, Kate is so annoying, and so is Kentaro. The Randa kids? Oh, man, they're such a pain, always thinking they're right, constantly suspicious. Seriously, those two are such a drag. But then they're on the hunt for May. She's back home now after her deal with Duval. They dive into May's past, and honestly, I was expecting more, a lot more. She was going on about not being able to go home because she'd put her family in danger. I thought she owed something to the cartel, like she'd stolen something huge from the government, something mind-blowing. But nope, she got into some tech company, and because of her ego, she wiped their data and fled the lawsuit. That was it. She fled a company lawsuit. That's why she traveled the world. Frankly, I was disappointed. I thought it was something way more serious, way more elaborate, but nope, it was just her massive ego and dissatisfaction with her job. She had to hack into the system because the woman wouldn't give her the top position, erased all that research data from years and then ran away to avoid getting sued. That's May's past. Meanwhile, Duval, Lee Shaw, and the Monarch deserters invade Monarch's Outpost 88 in Alaska. Taking it over, they're planning to head back there, to that area with the bright Frostvark light, to carry out a mission and exterminate those titans. Tim helps Kentaro and Kate find May's sister, who, as it turns out, is named Cora, along with her family. Soon after, Verdugo steps in to aid May against this company. Ever since this tech company came into the picture and based on what they were working on, I immediately thought of something, Mechagodzilla, but it's 2015, and Monster Zero is still frozen, so they couldn't be dealing with Mechagodzilla yet. But in the end, what I suspected was right. That company is Apex, none other than Apex Cybernetic. It was a great hook. I really liked that twist at the end of the episode, but, as I mentioned, this episode didn't have anything special. No action. No, it was a lot of dialogue, a lot about May. It was very focused on her. I'm trying to recall off the top of my head if there was anything exciting, but no, the only action, the exciting part, was when Shaw went back to the Frostvarks, blew them all up, and managed to take down that kaiju. I'm not sure if he actually killed all the Frostvarks or if there are more, but what's for sure is that the bright light that appeared everywhere, in the trailers, the epilogues, all of it, was snuffed out. And finally, we have director Verdugo showing the world what Monarch is, something that should have happened a long time ago. Of course, Monarch was a government secret organization because nobody knew about the Titans, but right after that Godzilla D-Day event, they had to step forward. Obviously, they couldn't just come out and say they knew about monsters and kept it from the public. That would have led to a lot of backlash. But it took them a while to step in, about a year. No, they should have already planned everything, needed to have a system in place. Even Japan had a defense system, and Seattle didn't, so it took a bit. But finally, the world now knows about Monarch 2. That's about it, folks. Not a lot happened in this episode. There were some info dumps, character backstories that honestly disappointed me quite a bit, but besides that, it's just setting us up for bigger things. I believe the next episode will probably give us another glimpse of Godzilla, and something's bound to happen because this series is so unpredictable. But I want to hear from you. Are you still following Monarch Legacy of Monsters? Or just catching reviews here and there? And if you're watching, what would you rate this episode of Monarch Legacy of Monsters, from 0 to 10? Take care, big hug, and until next time.